FuzzJock Radio.
It's a goal for me. It's a dream, and then I'm living my dream today. I got my dough, and I say I got it. I got this, and then I'm fighting for this for a long time, and then I got it. So this is for the dream too.
Radio.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're here. We are alive. Back in action. We are FuzzJock Radio. This is season 7. This is episode 5. We have Fuzzy Memory Trivia at the end of the show, so make sure to tune in to the end of the show. We have a lot of things to talk about before that as well. I'm one of your hosts, Fuzzy. I really appreciate your applause and coming back to listen to us talk about things that maybe matter or don't matter, depending on the way you look at it. We have another Hest here, and we call our hosts Hest because there's no hierarchy in FuzzJock Radio. And one of those Hests is all the way out in California, and their name is
C-Dubs.
Hello, C-Dubs.
We have a hello. C-Dubs, and we have another Hest all the way here in Minnesota. Coming in live from the remote access FuzzJock Radio studio. And his name is?
I am James.
James.
Yeah, ever heard of me?
Yeah, remember James to
you ever heard of me?
project. We've heard of you.
Does that mean James is in the moon? He's on our moon base?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know we still had that.
What are you doing?
I'm doing.
Fuzzy.
Oh, hey, wait.
Fuzzy, what's your name, Fuzzy?
I forgot where we were at.
I don't know. I'm just asking you what you do.
Wait. No, I'm a Hest. I already introduced myself. I don't know what you're talking about.
Nice.
Remember?
Right. Bases covered.
On base.
Bases. Huh? You get where I'm going?
I can barely hear you, James.
baseball.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you can barely hear me?
Yeah.
I'm doing the same thing I was doing at sound check.
Okay.
Is it awesome?
Yeah. Well, okay. So we have not done a live remote access from the old FuzzJock Radio studios since our first couple seasons.
This is like season 2.
Oh.
Yeah, like 2 and 3.
Yeah. No, I don't know. You just kind of sound a little muffled, but we'll just move on past that.
Yeah. I'll try to be I'm more excited about what I say now. Okay? I'm really excited. So if I tell myself, then I'm going to talk louder, I bet.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. Don't hush. Make sure to remember to project. And maybe this is a lesson that we should teach all the other fuzzjackers out there. Just remember to project. Whatever it is.
Yeah, lessons are boring.
Yeah. And we're not a lesson podcast. Do we need to start everything over? Should we just get things going again? Or should we just go? I think we should just go, but we can.
Let's go.
We can restart because it is our podcast.
We could rewind if we wanted to.
We could.
Yeah. Could want to. We don't feel like it though.
Do we? Okay. I don't even know what that button is. Oh.
Rewind.
This is FuzzJock Radio. I am one of your hosts.
FuzzJock Radio.
My name is Fuzzy. We have
Hello, Fuzzy. I am James.
And
I'm C-Dubs.
Who's that? Oh, yeah.
This is FuzzJock Radio. You're looking around and speculating podcast about sports. No, not speculating. We look around and communicate.
Absolutely.
And we're just going to get right into it. C-Dubs, how was your week?
My week was good. I had a lot of work to do, and then on my weekend, I watched all the baseball, and then had my neighbors come over to watch the Vikings game. So it was a good week, good weekend, good everything.
Oh, nice.
Very nice. James, how was your week?
It sounds busy. I feel like I was busy.
Were you?
I just hung out. Excuse me, I've got the vapors from this
Ooh, the
caffeinated
vapors.
beverage. Ooh. Anyway, no, I was just I spent the week being a dad, and it was awesome, fun time.
Good.
General dad stuff, having fun, and then finding the end of my wits, as they say, and being like, well, there's my wits end, and then I gotta be like, oh, now tell my kid to chill
How was
out.
your weekend, Fuzz?
My weekend?
Or weekend,
Well, if you
everything,
want-
all of it.
My week or my weekend?
Well, let's start with the week and then move into the weekend.
Well, what about today?
No, I don't want to hear about today. Well, maybe later.
Today's the
After
day
the
that I
weekend.
wanted to kind of talk about because
Then
today
skip
is,
the other
like,
stuff.
I remember today. Like I don't really remember what I did this weekend. What did I do this weekend, C-Dubs?
You planted money tree?
No,
No? Oh, I don't
that's
know.
not real.
I'm being told, though, right now by the listeners, we sound good. We
Oh.
all sounded handsome.
Okay, handsome.
Especially you. You specifically are the one I'm being told it sounds fantastically
Well,
handsome.
I mean, if you could see me right now, I'm getting very red. Where, what? Okay,
Well.
what's going on here? Are we doing
Yeah,
a
what's up with
podcast?
you?
How's your day?
Oh yeah,
So-
how
How
was
was your
my
day today?
Okay, so I was gonna just go into the whole like the regular bit of being like, yo, I don't remember. I did fuzzy things, fuzzy stuff happened over the last week, but something happened particularly today that was just like wow. I went to go get a haircut, and the receptionist, there was a new receptionist. I go to the same place to go get my haircut for the last couple of years, during COVID. Of course I wasn't getting my haircut, but like before COVID I was going to this place because my friend, shout out to Kate, does my hair, right? And I went to this place and there was a brand new receptionist, and the receptionist recognized me right away from the smoke shop that I used to work at. And she's like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I'm like, "Great. It's good to see you. How are you?" Because we've had good conversations over the years when I was working there and whatnot. And she goes, "Did you get your 2-year chip?" I don't know. I don't talk about it a whole lot. I'm not really sure, but I quit drinking 3 years ago, and I haven't really gone. I haven't gone to any AA meetings or any support groups or anything like that. I'm just doing it. Smart or not smart, I don't know. But I've had the conversations with her, about me quitting, and it was like right around the 2-year mark when we talked about it, and she's like, "I'm not going to drag you to one of those meetings, but I'm going to get you one of those chips." And I totally forgot about it after I left. And then fast forward to today. And she is like, "Did you get your 2-year chip that I brought to the store?" I left it at the store with a note, and I'm like, "No." And nobody has, and I don't work there anymore. I haven't worked there for 2 years now. And she's like, "Whoa, well, I left a note. I told the person I left it with to make sure to get it to you because it's important. It's just, you deserve this 2-year chip." And I'm like, "Well, no, they never really contacted me. I kind of left in a quick hurry there or whatever. So maybe they just didn't think about it." And she's like, "I'm going to go track that down and get that for you. And because you deserve it." And I'm like, "Well, you don't have to."
Well,
but...
you deserve a 3-year chip at this point.
And I'm like, "It is 3 years now." And she's like, "Well, I'm going to get you a 3-year chip then too." And
Yeah,
I'm just gonna bring it to the shop here, bring it to the hairstylist, and make sure that Kate gets a hold of you to get your 2-year and 3-year chip. And I just started fucking crying right in the middle of the hair shop because I was so touched by this lady that was just in my in my mind, just, she's a customer, like, and we've had some conversations like I've had with other customers, but she's like, she's just, it was really awesome.
That's so sweet. That's really sweet. And to be honest, I'm glad you cried because that shows that you really cared about that moment.
She gave me a
and it
hug,
meant a lot
and
to you.
like everybody was looking at us, and I was just like, "Oh man, I want to cry now just talking about it." Because it means a lot, and like it's just, and like right away, I'm like, man, I'm really happy that this is a Monday night, so I can remember this and be like, people just remember. You never know what kind word you might say to some random shop person, or like that. It's just be kind, and it's just really awesome. And so instead of sitting here and crying, let's go into
baseball is fun again in Minnesota.
Well, baseball
Mostly.
Yeah, I mean, we have next year to look forward to. Obviously, the Twins are out of the postseason race. They didn't get into the wild card. But the last game that the Twins had was a lot of fun.
We won by a lot.
We
They
won
did good.
10-1.
Yeah, that was
And
fun.
Beautiful.
The Luis Arraez clinched and got the batting
American
average
League batting title.
316 is what his is what it was, right?
Yes, 316 was the average that he ended on.
So,
Do you guys want a trivia question right now?
sure.
Do you know the other Twins players to hold the AL batting title?
I do not.
Can we guess them first?
I think there's
Paul
How many
Molitor
are there? Yeah, Molitor,
and
Rod Carew, Killebrew?
no.
No? Okay. I don't
No.
know. I give up.
what is it?
Yeah, Rod Carew, Tony Oliva multiple times, Joe Mauer multiple times,
Oh.
Kirby Puckett.
Oh, nice. Of course,
Oh,
Puckett.
Yeah.
Duh.
And Molitor didn't do it when he was a Twin.
Oh, that's right. He did when he was a
So
Brewer, right?
Luis Arraez is the fifth Twin to clinch the AL batting title.
Nice.
That's beautiful.
Very nice. So good company that rises in.
Yeah, no, that's a cool set of Twins to be a group of, you know.
And he's really happy to get it, of course, and good for him. So then now we have a lot to look forward to. We can start, like instead of worrying about the postseason and being a wild card and then just being eliminated right now, we can start thinking about next season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. So that brings us to the
We all know what that sound means, or what
What,
this
is it
jingle
Benny?
is. It's time for the
Buzz question of the week.
All right.
with the end of the season and a new season's a beginning, and the Twins ending with less than a 50% average. I'm right on saying that, right? If I
That's
say
right.
something wrong, just correct me. The fuzz question of the week is, and the fuzz question of the week is when I ask the Hess a question, and then they answer it with their opinion, and then we don't talk about why they think that. We just move on, right?
Maybe.
To the next topic. No, that's the fuzz question of the week. Don't say maybe.
Explanation with no extrapolation.
What did
We'll
yeah,
see.
yeah,
We'll
that's
see.
what smart Andy said.
Smart Andy.
Expert Andy.
Changing his name right now.
Fuzz question of the week is, will Rocco Baldelli be the Twins manager next year? Jameis.
Yeah, it's pretty finitely decided.
C-dubs.
Yep.
And that was our...
Buzz question of the week.
Okay, there we go. That was a great question.
That was good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
You want to know who else is sticking around next year?
Who's that?
Our president of operations person, whatever, front office guy,
Okay.
Derek Falvey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Falvey and Levine.
Cool.
Falvey Levine.
Cool.
Falvey and Thad Levine and Rocco Baldelli.
How about
But
Carlos Correa? Is he going to stay? Because Carlos had 1 year contract with an extension, possibly. Is that what 3 years?
It was 3 year.
Oh, it's a
3 year
3 year
with an opt out, an available opt out at the end of each year.
Maybe that should have been the question of the week.
Yeah.
No. Since
I'm
it's
on top
not
of
the
that.
question of the week, we can talk about it. So
Yeah.
Correa, let's talk about him. Was he? He's in a 3 year contract, but can he
Yes.
opt out?
He can opt out at the end of this season. And
In
there's a
opting out, what
deadline-
is that?
There's a deadline for that coming up within 5 days of the World Series.
And opting out means C-dubs.
It means that you can decide to basically end your contract.
Just
You can opt out of the rest of your contract and get a new one.
is there a penalty to the opting out?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Oh, because that's part of the contract. You'll work.
Yes.
You'll play 3 years, and if you want to just opt out of it, you can opt out of it because we want you so bad for this year at least.
We want him so bad. We made a deal that you'll love it here.
You have to play
for playing for us.
He has to play one full year, and then he can opt out.
Correct.
Okay. So he has 5 days to decide that. Is that what you said, James?
At the completion of the World Series, he's got 5 days after.
Ooh.
That's the deadline.
That's the deadline.
So the deadline is still within a month away or so. Carlos Correa himself, he's been pretty vocal with reporters about how much he likes Minnesota, how much his family likes Minnesota.
Those are good things.
But also he...
What else has he been vocal about?
He's vocal about wanting a commitment, wanting a longer term contract.
Okay.
So,
okay. So I did see that like you were saying, like the family, his wife. I did see that his wife and kids absolutely love Minnesota, and that's a really and that was a really big reasons for him to stay is because of what his wife wants, and and his wife gets along with all the other twins' wives as well, and they're all really welcoming here. As we all know in Minnesota, everybody's very welcoming. And
he's making it clear though that he will do what's best for his family and such. So
that's what he wants, and that's awesome.
And that's kind of the polite way of saying, I want more than this 3 year deal.
Mm-hmm.
I want to feel like you want me here, for multiple years to build something.
Yeah.
And if that's not the offer, he will opt out. Is kind of what he's saying with your words.
So
right?
what you're saying is that it sounds like he wants to stay.
He wants to stay,
Like
but
he wants a contract to make sure that he is going to stay. It's not like he doesn't want to just stay here for the end of 3 years. He wants to make sure that he is going to stay here with a good amount of money for at least he knows how many years. And maybe he wants. Oh, so does it sound like he wants to retire here? Almost.
It's possible, sure.
It's a possibility.
He'll want a contract to. To back that up, though.
How old is his kids?
I don't know, between 0 and 90.
Well, that's a big. If he's gonna stay here, like more than 3 years, and his kids are in grade school, that would most likely he would want to establish a base in where his kid's going to be going to school.
That's a really good point,
right?
So,
I think he's looking for a 5 to 8 year contract.
That's where I would be at, and he's getting, and that would take him to retirement age almost,
basically.
So that's going to be interesting, and it's going to be dependent on
what the front office
do.
wants to offer him now.
He's going to leave,
and they're going to be as secretive about it as they can until they have a decision.
Well, of course.
There's a chance he could opt out and still stay with the Twins if we actually offered him a long-term contract. I don't see him not opting out. I think he'll opt out either way. It's just we have a chance to sign him to a better and new contract. But there's another thing he's been vocal about other than that his family loves Minnesota, and that is he's been critical of our pitching, and not just our pitchers, but how we handle pitchers.
Okay.
And I don't think if he doesn't get that commitment also, I think he will definitely look at moving on.
Well, what do you mean by that? He's a hitter, and he has nothing to do with the pitching. The pitchers, what as in they need to put more money into their pitching, like we all know, or
A little bit of that, but more of he wants pitchers to be able to go longer into games because he thinks that is one of the major flaws in the Twins organization. He has been vocal about this.
so. But he's not a coach.
That's kind of interesting.
But he knows what, I mean, if you look at the playoffs right now, what is winning in all the games? Pitching. He knows what it takes to have a winning team. And it's not just offense, and it's not just him. It's pitching to back up the offense, which is correct.
And how
in my opinion.
But that's how and so that all depends on how Rocco, the manager of the Twins, will take that, if he'll take that in stride and be like, yo, I will be open to criticisms from players, or I need to, I'm the manager and I know best for the team.
I'm not sure that's necessarily always on Rocco, that decision. I think there is some reason to believe that he's being told and forced to follow the analytics on those kind of decisions.
Okay.
Against his judgment, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have a source on that. But
Who would be the devil in the ear for Brocco then?
There'd be two of them.
Who?
Falvey and Levine.
Huh?
Falvey and Levine.
Who are they? I don't know who they are, and I'm sure a lot of FuzzJockers don't know.
That is the operations president of operations, front office, Derek Falvey.
And you just
Thad
and
Levine.
at the beginning of this segment, you just mentioned that they were rehired.
Oh yeah, they're coming back.
So
They are
it
coming
sounds
back.
like there's a lot of conflicts of interests in this whole.
There
deal.
could be, and I
So-
think our front office
then
is trying to still have that conversation and get creative with it, and
Are they though? I mean,
it appears that the ball is in their court, so to speak.
Yeah.
Is the term.
So
they
the
say
question
in baseball.
So the question is, will the front office be okay with players telling them what to do?
And I think that will also depend on if they sign Correa to a bigger deal, is if they are taking what he's saying to heart, or if they're taking it as a criticism, and then they probably don't want him back.
No,
So,
exactly.
yeah.
So
Could be,
Yeah.
could work for or against him.
So
We'll
this will
see.
be something. Put a pin in it, and
Put a pin in.
and
Ow.
watch what's going on around there. We don't have any answers for you right now, FuzzJockers. I am sorry, but we do have some answers about the postseason. Wild card games have completed.
Yes.
The Padres have won their wild card race. They went 3 games. It was a 2-3.
That was the only series to actually go 3 games.
5-game
Absolutely,
series,
yeah.
right? Best of 5,
3.
best of 3.
Mm-hmm.
And during the Padres game, there was. I noticed. Okay, so during the Padres game, the Padres pitcher was fucking killing it. Like, he was throwing strikes, and then all of a sudden, like in the middle of the innings, like maybe 5th inning. There's 9 innings in a baseball game, and maybe during like the 5th inning or so, they stopped the game and had the umpire, the other team. What was the other team?
Mets.
The Mets team's
The nine
manager
Mets.
asked the umpires to go check the Padres pitcher's hair for sticky tack or goo or something, that's causing the velocity of the ball to change. And
Spin rate.
as we all remember, last season during the baseball, they were cheating a lot. There was a lot of cheating going on, and our third baseman now cheating New York Yankee Donaldson called everybody out, and they were 100% using, the pitchers were 100% using goop on their fingers to make so they can have a different grip on the ball than just having nothing on their hands, which caused the ball to spin a lot faster, and it was really hard to hit the ball. And they made rules and said that you can't do that. And this season, to combat that, they have the umpires before and after innings check the pitchers for goo in their gloves or in their socks, or they touch their hands, making sure. So they went out to the mound at like 5th inning to go check the guys. Like, they were checking his hair to see because he was touching his head a lot, and they came to the conclusion that he wasn't using anything, and then the Padres ended up winning, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
the weird thing is, I'm watching this, and I noticed that the announcers had mentioned that the velocity seems to be a little bit extra high. Right, C-Dubs?
Yes. They also mentioned, the velocity, the spin rate, and they even put on the screen at one point a tweet from someone accusing him of using a substance to cheat on his ears.
Okay.
And they also talked about it during the game and kept pointing the camera at his ear and showing it.
Okay.
So it was, aware to the viewer that it was going on. But then that kind of leads to my question of, unless the Mets had their own stat person figure this out, how did they know? I thought they're not supposed to pay attention to outside information. How did they know to check him?
How did the Mets? You're right. How did the Mets know, or what? Why did they come to the conclusion that they're going to ask the umpires to stop the game because we know that he's using sticky tack and you need to check it?
Because New York should have done that if that was what's going on.
And is that a rule that you can't? That people in the dugout or people during a game, can you check Twitter? Can you watch the game in the dugout? Can you listen to the announcers?
The visual, but not the screen caps they put on and all that, or the graphics, and they don't get the audio. So maybe they saw his ear a bunch and thought of it, but I don't think you can get outside information during a game.
No, I don't. I wouldn't think so because it just seems like they'd be signaling, or they could, pick up signals by watching the game and seeing, what they catch it putting down the number 2 for a fastball or whatever. And they have restrictions on players watching the replays, don't they?
They can only use certain camera angles and stuff that at their disposal.
And well, it would be like, you definitely can't have somebody in the outfield with binoculars
or a camera,
and then texting somebody in the dugout with. You can't do that, right? For sure.
No.
So then then with that logic, I would say, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know if this is real logic or not. But with that logic, the Twitter would be like the same thing, or having the news broadcast on would be the same thing.
I would think so.
And
that's how I understand it.
So with that, with no outside information, how would they know that? Other than him touching his head a lot, and being like, "Oh, he's got to be putting something on his fingers." I don't know.
Because that's the question I walked away with. Because let me just bring in a little thing. So he was accused of using Red Hot by someone on Twitter, a player on Twitter.
Okay.
Accused him of using Red Hot, which is like icy hot, on his ear.
Okay.
And so that specific thing is not banned. It's like sunscreen. If you have it on, and players can use sunscreen, there's nothing illegal about that.
Yeah,
the rosin bag is legal. Like, those are legal things. So I don't really even if he was using Red Hot, which it seems that he wasn't, that's not even that big of a deal. It's not the most honest way to play baseball, but it's not a banned substance. But wouldn't
We all
is it,
know
Benny?
what that sound means, or what this jingle is. It's time for the
Fuzz question of the week.
Well, we'll have another Fuzz question of the week.
Part 2.
The Fuzz question of the week this week is, were the New York Mets cheating by listening to a broadcast or checking Twitter while playing the game? Is that the question? Is that where
Sounds
we're
like
going
it.
with? Is that where we're going with this?
Sounds like it.
Is, how did the Mets know or have the suspicion that the guy was cheating other than the fact that people were pointing it out during the news broadcast? Right?
Yeah,
Is that the question? That's the question.
I like that question. Ask me.
Sit-ups.
Sounds like it.
James.
You bet, I guess.
Fuzz question
That was
of
our
the
Fuzz
week.
question of the week. Interesting. I think we should move on to the Blue Jays. Had a blowout during their wild card game.
Or a blow up
Oh,
more.
Man.
Blow up? What do you mean? What happened? James.
James, you start.
I think they were winning that game 10. No.
They were up by 7 runs, 1 to
8
8.
to 1. 8 to 1. They were winning when they pulled their starter. And then they end up losing 10 to 9.
And they
So-
scored 7 runs in 1 inning.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or 8 runs. Sorry, they scored 8 runs in 1 inning.
Wow. That's not good.
No, not for Toronto.
No. So they lost a 7-run lead to get eliminated from their wild card series. So
Well,
hearts go out to Raffy and all the other Blue Jays fans for that kind of heartbreak. We understand.
But I'm rooting for Seattle.
you're rooting for Seattle. So you
Yeah.
don't want the Dodgers to win anymore?
No, I want the Dodgers to win the World Series. I just want the most unlikely team to make it to the World Series for the AL and the most prolific team to take it from the NL.
And the
I think
NL,
that'd be an interesting storyline.
And the NL means National League, and the
Correct.
AL means
the Nomadic League.
no, it
American
doesn't.
League.
Don't lie to the Fuzzjockers, James. Come on.
American League and National League.
American
The
League
two
and
different
National
leagues that make up MLB.
And is that next year? Is there a reason to have a National League and an American League?
Not anymore.
What do you mean by that?
Well, before they were 2 different leagues. They actually were different.
Like how do you mean? Like as in
So they had different rules.
Okay.
In that the pitcher could bat or pitcher did bat in the National League. They also had a thing called the double switch, which was involved with the pitcher as well to move a player in the batting order. And I mean, those are basically the rules that lasted the longest. But now they've made all the rules the same in the Major League Baseball. So now they're just basically divisions
Okay.
as opposed to, or conferences as opposed to leagues.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, ready
That's
to move
very
on?
interesting.
No, I want to talk a little bit more about the Toronto game because Toronto was getting pretty cocky in the 6th inning before Seattle took over, and even odder was they walked I think 4 people in the inning, and previous to that inning, the 5th inning, the Seattle had knocked like 3 consecutive batters. I think hit 2 and walked 1 to load the bases. And so they both were going back and forth with looking really bad with their pitching. But then it was Toronto who couldn't hold it on.
So
That's wild.
how like is that reminiscent to some of the games in the before times, or is just a fluke game?
I think they're the 2, probably I would say the 2 weakest teams to be in the playoffs. So they had the worst bullpens,
Okay.
and it kind of played out right in front of us all.
James, are you talking in the back of your microphone?
No, I mean, I wasn't then.
I think you are.
No, am I?
Yeah, look at your microphone.
If I look on this side?
Yeah, you were talking in the back the whole time.
No.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
so
like a whole new microphone.
Yeah,
it
there you
is.
go. Now you sound
now
great.
we gotta do this.
Oh.
You sound handsome.
So if you look at your microphone, it will say back on the back of it.
No, it doesn't.
Does it really? Oh shit, it does. Mine says it too.
Oh, I read good.
Okay, you guys ready to move on?
This is our first season, isn't it? Right?
Yeah, this is our
season we
first
ever had?
season.
Oh, okay. I want to talk about some more postseason.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
Um,
Oh, yeah, I suppose,
So
this is the last time we'll be able to talk about baseball until next season. Or actually until...
Next week, we'll talk probably about,
Twins baseball.
postseason.
Twins baseball.
yeah, Twins baseball.
Okay,
But-
so what's up? What's up about more postseason stuff, C-Dubs?
So I watched all the games. I was lucky enough that since I work at a baseball stadium, they had all the games on while I was working on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to watch everything while I was working and then watch the rest while I was home. And I was shocked by how bad St. Louis coughed up their game to the Phillies in game 1 because they also had a breakdown or blow up or whatever you want to call it. They were 2 outs away from winning game 1, and then they proceeded to walk 4 people, getting them a run, and then switched their hitter or pitcher, and then gave up 2 hits, and next thing you knew, they were down by like 5 runs.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then they got the 2 outs, and then they proceeded to do nothing in the bottom of the 9th, and they lost the first game, and then they lost the second game. So St. Louis is gone, and Philly is in.
And Albert Pujols, the legend,
Is retired
is retiring.
officially.
He
Yep.
is. So he is done.
He has said that.
Dunzo, 703 will now be his record for his home runs.
Okay.
It's tight.
So that
There was also
Go ahead. No.
okay. There was also the American League had a game with the Tampa Bay and Cleveland. The first game was one of the shortest games I've ever seen or heard or anything like that. It was 2 hours and 17 minutes long.
Wow.
The first game the pitching was that dominant that it was straight up a pitcher's duel to the max. I took my break at work 2 hours in the 8th inning.
Wow. That's wild.
And I was like, what? That's insane.
Yeah.
So, and then Cleveland went on to win that one 2-1 because they hit a home run
Okay.
in the bottom of the 9th, I think, or 8th or something like that. And then the next day, Cleveland went on to win the 15-inning game 1-0 because it was another pitcher's duel. And Cleveland moved on. Now they get to face the Yankees.
Okay.
Yeah. Good luck, Guardians.
So that's the postseason wild card games. We've spoken of all of them now.
So that means that in the postseason we have Cleveland versus New York, Seattle versus Houston, and then the NLCS, the Phillies versus the Angels, San Diego versus the Dodgers.
The Phillies are facing who is the other one? Why can't I think of it right now?
This has an A.
Oh, Atlanta Braves.
Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, the Braves. Eddie Rosario.
Ooh.
Yes.
He's back, baby.
Yeah. So, are we ready?
Let's do
For
it.
some. Are you ready for some? You know?
Football time.
Mhm.
I think you can not be as close to your microphone now that you're actually talking to the front of it.
All the rules have changed.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So give it a little bit of breathing room.
Okay.
Football, as we all know, the Monday Night Football just got done, and I don't know who won.
30-29. Nevada lost to Kansas City.
Okay. And I didn't watch the game. Did you guys see it?
I had it on.
Any comments about it? Okay.
What
It was not
what
bad.
is-
It
what
wasn't
is
as
Monday
bad
Night
as
Football?
the other prime times.
Monday Night Football is when the NFL plays football on Monday night, Jameis.
Oh, okay. Why are they so boring this year?
Are they?
This one's not.
No, they
The
haven't.
other-
They haven't
It's been
been.
Thursday night that's been awful.
Yeah. Have you
Oh,
been?
okay.
Have you been part of this season, or is this somebody else, Jameis?
Who?
You.
Benny?
We've been talking about how Monday night's been great.
The
lately.
good one.
Oh, these are really good Monday nights. Yeah.
Have you been?
Oh, dude, I was in season 6 earlier. Did you see that?
Oh, okay. That makes
okay.
sense.
So
Yeah.
you're.
I was
Oh,
looking
those are-
at this whiteboard that was saying like episode 7, and I'm like, are we on episode 7? Why? What are we talking about? And I'm like, oh no, I'm in season 6. Time warp. Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Let's do
So then you're
time
probably
warp
not
again.
aware that the Vikings are now 4-1. If you've been
What?
Go
hanging out
Vikings.
in
I've got
the
a lot of
past.
questions.
So what's one of your questions?
I've got one question.
Well, you said a
How
lot.
do they do it?
How do they do it?
How do they do it?
By the skin of their teeth. They
Yeah.
have they well, I mean, really, other than the Packer game, they haven't been too dominant. They started off dominant this week against the Bears, but then proceeded to let Justin Fields go crazy in the second half, which is I mean, oddly enough, so I had my neighbors over, and before the game started, my neighbor was like, "Oh, I don't know much about Chicago this year. What's their deal?" And I was like, "Eh, they're not very good, but if you let their quarterback Fields go crazy, he's going to run the field on you."
That's what he
And,
does. He's named
That's what he
after
does.
it.
That's why it's in his name.
Yeah.
So I said, we got a good chance to look really good in this and get in a rhythm as long as we don't let Fields take over. And then what happened? They looked good and got in a rhythm. Kirk Cousins completed 17 consecutive passes, which is a record for the Vikings.
He did it on purpose?
Yeah, on purpose. He actually did a lot of good stuff. And
Good
then in the second half, they got out of their rhythm and Fields started running around the field and they couldn't contain him. And Chicago came back and took the lead with 4 minutes left in the game. But
He's like, Fields, activate.
yeah, field
Field
feet
power.
activate. And then
on the fields.
so then in the final drive for the Vikings, they were actually able to get a good drive going that took a lot of yards up. They scored with a touchdown, and it took up a lot of time. Something they've not been good at lately. So that was really impressive to see.
As in,
And then when
you say
Go ahead.
lately, as in what do you mean by as in lately? As in like the
This
last
season.
this season or last season?
this season,
Okay. So that's
and then
go ahead.
for the final play, Chicago was going down the field and threw a pass to one of their wide receivers who used to be on the Vikings, and as he caught the ball, he knocked down Cam Dantzler very embarrassingly and ran past him and was like, ha, I got the ball. When Cam got up and was pissed and ran forward at the player and literally took the ball out of his hands and then turned around and ran with it himself with a fumble, basically. He got a fumble and sat down, and we won the game.
Dude, it was great. You could see the anger in Cam's eyes after he got manhandled there. He was like, "Nope, I'm not gonna let this happen," and he just went after that ball, stripped it, and it was the end of the game. And you know what the best part of that is that Cam Dantzler is a handpicked cornerback by our old coach Mike Zimmer. So that's he's part of the old regime, and he won the game.
Good job, Zimmer.
Got him.
Yeah.
Zimmer winning us games, even though he's not our coach.
Jokes aside, though, the Timberwolves, the Vikings have been doing pretty well, except in the first half. Like I watched this game, and in the first half it was great. But the second half was a little like, ooh, guys, you're gonna lose it, but they didn't. So good for them. Like I said, 4-1, 4-1, 4 wins, 1 loss. I can't believe we're already in the fifth season.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fifth
what?
week.
Fifth week.
Yeah, it's like it's episode 5.
How many weeks do they have
That's
in
weird.
the NFL?
17.
17.
Well, there's 18 weeks,
17
but
games.
17 they play because they get one bye week.
Yeah. So it's getting to the point where like things are really going to start mattering for teams that don't have a lot of wins
Very soon.
Oh, yeah.
very soon.
And our one loss came to the team that is yet to lose a game. So
Nice.
really not that bad because no one else has done it. No one else has beaten them. So
And who's that?
The Cowboys? You
the
kidding?
Eagles.
Oh, the
Eagles.
Eagles. That's right.
Yep.
Okay.
I forgot.
So I mean, as critical as I've been to the Vikings, they're doing good.
Yeah.
They're doing good enough.
Yeah. So that makes the What's the standings here? Looks like
We're leading.
they're 4-1. The Packers are right behind us, 3-2. Bears are 2-3, and the Lions are 1-4. So that means the Packers lost last week.
They lost on Sunday morning in London to the Giants,
And you
who
say
are considered
Got
not a
'em.
good team, even though they're
I
4-1.
was just gonna say you're saying the Giants they're bad, but they are 4-1.
They are, but they've also their quarterback is subpar. It's their running back that's winning them the games. He's the leading rusher in the league, so Saquon Barkley is the reason they're winning.
Well, I
But-
gotta say the wins are what matters.
Yes, I agree with that because everyone keeps talking shit about them on all the sports radio and talk shows and Sports Center and all those things. But really, I mean, hey, they're proven they're good.
Look at
you know,
their
so.
look at their division. Eagles are 5-0. Cowboys are 4-1. The Giants are 4-1, and the Commanders are 1-4. So everybody's
They're
tied
hanging.
up there. So that's pretty neat. So you wanted to talk about? I was trying to lead you
Yeah.
into talking about the Packers loss.
Sorry about
that
that.
was
I
a,
was
that was
hitting
like one
my
of
vape.
those things that you call a lead-in.
Yeah,
Um,
and I've ruined it.
heard of
So the
this.
Packers ending was very good. I just wanted to bring this up. So the final 3 plays for the Packers were they were on the 5-yard line, and Aaron Rodgers had 2 chances. So it was 3rd down. So he's got 3rd and 4th down to make a completion in the end zone. Something Rodgers should, that's what he does, right? That's Rodgers. He's the best quarterback. The Giants defense knocked down both passes, like right in his face.
Nice.
Just shoved him down to the ground. We're like,
Nice.
nah.
Nice.
So then they turn the ball over on 4th down to the Giants. So then the Giants start on the Packers on their own 5-yard line.
Ooh.
But because of time clock issues by the referees and the time clock officiator, they fucked up and left. The time didn't come off the clock when they took their first snap. So they didn't take up the time that they were supposed to when they
Okay.
played the game. So then Green Bay calls a timeout and no time went off the clock. So they had
Whoa.
to take their final down and run out of the end zone to take up more time and give up a safety just to waste like 10 seconds. Like they were running around trying to just
Who was
waste some
they?
time.
Green Bay
the
or the other
Giants.
Giants? Okay.
So the Giants finally waste that time, give up the safety. There's 10 seconds left in the game, or 12, something like that. They kick the ball back to Green Bay. Green Bay gets it, gets on the ground, whatever, gives Aaron Rodgers his last chance. So 1 play left.
And-
1 play left for Rodgers.
Yep.
He gets his Hail Mary
Which he
chance,
shouldn't
right?
have had because the refs fucked up with the time.
Shouldn't
clock.
have had it in the first place, but he gets one.
Okay.
So here we go. He winds up. He's going back for his deep pass. Here he is. Hail Mary. Someone's open. And they strip the ball right out of his hand, knock it down, jump on top of it. Game over. Giants win.
Nice.
Yeah, take
The
that.
final 3 plays by the Packers were fucking great.
That's wild. That's wild. And they had the refs try to help them too.
They even had the refs try and help
Kinda
Rodgers
like-
they do.
Something happened with the Tom Brady. Like just to jump to the next thing, something happened with Tom Brady where it sounded like the refs were trying to help him or
Yeah.
like maybe cheat. What happened there?
So Tom Brady gets sacked, regular sack, just gets knocked down. The guy grabs him and rolls to the ground like you're supposed to. He doesn't lay on top of him. He gets up instantly. He takes him to the ground like you're supposed to. Does exactly what you do. You hug the guy and you take him down. Then Tom Brady gets up and kicks his leg as high as he can to kick the guy kind of between the legs, like tries to really get him, but he jumps off him quick enough that the kick misses him. But you can see Tom Brady kicks his leg as hard as he can. It shoots in the air like nothing you've seen before. And then the referees throw a flag and everyone's going, oh, yeah, Tom Brady just tried to kick the fucking defender. Of course there's a flag. No, unnecessary roughness to the quarterback. Tom Brady gets the ball and they just get to win the game. And
Oh,
Atlanta
wow.
doesn't get the ball back.
Sounds like
That's what happened.
Sounds like some refs and some on Tom Brady's side.
ridiculous.
They used to do stuff like that with in basketball with Michael Jordan. Like they have a rule, like it was like called the Michael Jordan rule or whatever. Something. Whereas Michael Jordan was a very good. I don't know if you guys know, but he was a very good basketball player in the 90s, and he was so good that he would complain about getting fouled or something happening in the game, and the referees of the basketball game would change their viewpoint of that foul, or they would call a foul after Michael Jordan would complain about something, because they just assumed that, him being Michael Jordan being such a phenom player, maybe possibly the best player in the universe of basketball in history, that how could he be wrong, right? And that's kind of sounds like what's going on with Aaron and Tom Brady. They get that happens to them because they're so good. The referees are like,
Tom Brady's not happy. He probably knows the rules, so there's a flag.
Still cheating. Yep. And we have a little thing about cheating here. Here. Let's see here.
Dad, what's a beloved regular?
Haha. Well, Ginger, when a podcast loves a guest very much, they have them on at least once a season. Even if their opinions are unpopular, their taste is warped, and sometimes their audio input isn't that great.
And what do they call the time that someone like that is allotted?
Allotted? Good word, Ginger. Well, they call that the longest 90 seconds of your life.
Presented by beloved regular Eric Blake here on FuzzJockRadio, a FuzzTalk production.
Oh, hello again, crowd. That beep means we are going. Yes, it is me, beloved regular Eric Blake. Yes, let's calm down. I barely got my topic last week because of you crowds, so let's just turn it down a little bit. Yep, thank you. Okay, let's settle down. Yes, thank you so much. Okay, let's settle down. Greetings, Fuzzy and fellow Hests. I hope you are well.
Yeah,
Great episode last week. I didn't have any notes, so I thought I would address something from a little while back. Cheating in sports, okay?
Yeah, we're just talking about that.
All right, well, don't talk over me. I'll get right into it. I've only got 90 seconds, so let's get right to it. Basically,
Let's do it.
I feel like cheating in sports is as American an institution as skullduggery and tricks in general. To go way back, you have the colonists fighting dirty in the American Revolution, but I'm more reminded of certain CIA operations. For instance, there's an operation they pulled in World War II. The CIA once planted a postal carrier soldier of the enemy military, and what this postal carrier was carrying was letters to the soldiers on that particular front. What the CIA had done was kill the soldier, replace those letters with ones that they had written, and put him back to be found back on the front. The letters they had written were all very disheartening, things like your wife has left you, your family's dead, and the idea was to get the enemy soldiers who received those letters to desert the front and either run away or return home. Now, where you see this kind of thing in sports,
the longest 90 seconds of your life. Presented by beloved regular Eric Blake here on FuzzJockRadio, a FuzzTalk production.
Thank you.
We're never getting that time back.
The longest 90 seconds of your life.
The computers are from Turkey?
Dan made the recording.
If this is the information they're willing to give us, what could they be hiding?
Like, do I still get to be a guest on the show?
Oh my god. I think we just blew the lid off this whole...
Thank you, Eric. Thank you. I really appreciate the comments about
It's my favorite
cheating.
segment.
Yeah, it's a good
How are
segment.
they? I hope they've got a stockpile of lids, man, because they keep blowing them off.
Yeah, I know.
Ew,
Let's move
get
on.
more lids.
So, the Panthers fired their coach after 5 games. They fired
the first coach firing already of the season.
Wow, that was quick. He must not have been doing well.
No.
What's this Matt Rule?
Matt Rule. So he's the coach of
that's
the
his
Carolina
name. It's
Panthers.
not a rule. It's not a rule.
Yeah,
it's
he
not
does
a Matt.
No, he
any
doesn't rule
longer.
though. Apparently he doesn't rule. I do want to say one thing about him though. So he's fired after 4 games or 5 games.
Yep.
He's going to get 100% of the contract that he signed for, even though he's fired. And that's kind of bullshit because the players do not get guaranteed contracts. So if you cut a player, they don't get paid the rest of their contract.
That's
kind
pretty
of
effed.
fucked. Yeah, that's fucked. That's kind of fucked up. Just wanted to bring that up. Because we're all about the players and people here.
Yeah, we are.
We should
about
help
the
them
players.
and get
They're the
them
ones that are
guaranteed
making
contracts.
the money. Or they're the ones that are making everybody else money. They're the ones on the field.
And giving up their lives for it.
Ain't right?
Dolphins. Speaking of, how's that Dolphins quarterback that got hurt really bad?
He's still in recovery, but the backup they had for him was Teddy Bridgewater, and he got knocked out of the first play of the game for Miami this week.
Oh no, not Teddy.
Yeah, so he got knocked out too and taken out of the game, and he's under concussion protocol.
Oh, jeez.
So Miami's not doing too good.
I don't like football.
People are still getting hurt. It's rough.
Are we ready to move on to basketball?
Let's do some basketball.
FuzzJockRadio.
Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it! Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it! Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it!
FuzzJockRadio.
The Timberwolves are 3-0 in preseason. I know preseason doesn't really matter a whole lot because they just are playing some of their bench players a little bit more and not playing at full potential. Like as in Towns and Rudy Gobert have not played together yet, which is interesting.
It's too much power.
It is a lot of power.
They got to save it. So, makes sense.
I wonder what they could be saving it for.
Season?
Oh, season.
You ever heard of it?
Well, I'm sure that they haven't put the two together for multiple reasons. Maybe like one is that they have a home preseason game coming up soon, and they're probably trying to wait to debut the what do you want to call them? You can't call them the Twin Towers.
Duo.
The duo.
The dynamic duo.
The dynamic duo. We should figure out a good name for those two.
Yeah,
we should coin it.
The two people.
The two people.
It's two brothers.
So, yeah, they have a home game coming. It would sell a lot of tickets for that home game. There's also a chance that they don't want to really show their hand. They got a season to look forward to, and they don't want to show the other teams what they have in store for plays for between Carl and Gobert. They can practice that, but they don't need to practice that in preseason, right?
Yeah, because they literally would have no clue. There's no tape of that ever. So
exactly,
it's completely new.
So, yeah, that's my take on that, I guess.
Yeah, still going to be really exciting to see this season get going.
Yeah,
we got a couple weeks yet of preseason, correct?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do. We have 2 games. We have
2 games
against the Lakers on Wednesday on October 12th, and then we have that home game that I was referring to against the Brooklyn Nets October 14th.
Oh.
And then the regular season, starts against Oklahoma City Thunder on October 19th, a Wednesday at 7 p.m.
Man, we're so close.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a really interesting season. With like we have talked about with D'Lo at point, Carl, Gobert, McDaniels, and Ant. That's just wild.
Damn,
that's wild.
That's a good lineup.
That's a wild team, and I can't wait to talk about them.
D'Lo and Ant.
Wait for that season to start, and then we'll really get into the Timberwolves action.
What is slashing?
Slashing is like that,
So the Wild also have been playing really well in preseason. They're currently 5-1 or 4-1.
3-1.
3-1.
3-1.
3-1.
Or 3-1. Yeah, 4 games.
3-1.
Yeah.
They got and then they got a couple games. When is everything starting? No, on the 13th.
They've got one more. They've got one more preseason, I think, and then they start next week.
No, they start on the 13th.
Oh shit! They started this week. Oh, so that was the last one, the Dallas one.
Yep.
Oh shit! Okay, I thought that's right. Dallas did happen. I missed it, so I forgot when it was.
They play against the New York Rangers on Thursday at 7
watch
p.m.
that.
And then, so that'll be a lot of fun. Kaprizov.
Got some good Minnesota teams for the winter.
Yeah, it's going to be great. And hopefully
some good Minnesota winter.
Hopefully they don't follow the Twins' lead and start off really hot and then just peter off in the end, because that would not be fun.
They better not. I'm expecting a lot from them this year.
And since
no doubt.
since the Wild schedule really hasn't started off, once again, preseason's preseason. We will start talking about it next week. So something to look forward to. We're just getting through these topics real quick now.
Oh yeah, bam, bam, bam.
And then now, I didn't even do. Oh well, got some.
We could talk about.
Open wide for some soccer.
We don't have soccer news, but this is like the other topics section.
Well, I can give you some soccer news.
Oh, you have some soccer news?
The playoffs start soon. That's my soccer news. But
nice.
This does give us a chance, since it's other topics, soccer and other topics, which we will break up again into the future. We will break these into separate topics, but for now they are the same. The chess world is still a chatter about the cheating scandal, and I keep seeing the news posted more and more widely out there. So it sounds like people are listening to our podcast and reporting on our reporting. What do you think of that, James?
That's good. We just want that information out there,
Yeah, we broke the story, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks
just
ago?
about the truth, always,
yeah,
forever.
We're the ones who are putting it out there. CNN, ESPN, BBC,
PFN,
ABC, DF, all
PDF.
of them. They're all stealing from us, though. But it's great. That means people are listening, and the news is getting out there. That's what we care about. We don't care if you take our news and put it out there, as long as it gets out there. So, chess cheating is a huge deal, and we're glad we broke the news.
Yeah, over 100. Over 100 cheats. Did you see that? Did you say that?
Yeah,
they're thinking that it's getting
they're looking into
widespread.
this and seeing. Well, yeah,
100 plus times. Well,
that's nuts.
Yeah, knock it off.
A lot of cheating. A lot of cheating everywhere.
Knock it off, dude.
You had something to talk about with AEW, C-Dubs?
It sounds like Andrade is being a big butthead and is trying to get out of his contract, which I find appalling. That's all I want to really bring up. AEW is doing good stuff.
Explain why
Otherwise,
it's appalling, because that's like you're just calling somebody out and not explaining yourself.
I don't want to. He got in a fight with Sammy Guevara, and then they both kind of aired their dirty laundry, and then now he went on a podcast or something, saying he's gonna sabotage his next match. So I don't like him right now.
If he wants to say on our podcast, you can't.
Okay. So Andrade and Sammy got into a backstage altercation, what happened was that Sammy had mentioned that he thinks that Andrade hits too hard when they're wrestling. And then on a podcast, and this is all shoot, and what shoot means is that it's actually real in real life instead of it being part of their storyline or kayfabe. Mm-hmm. A kayfabe is when it's part of the wrestler's storyline, and when they're talking shoot, it means that they're speaking the truth, right? Yeah. And so on a podcast, Andrade was speaking the truth about hearing that Sammy was complaining about him hitting hard, and complained about Sammy talking that way because he's never heard anybody say that he hits hard or he's a stiff wrestler, and that if Sammy had something to say, he'll bring it to him. He's not scared to get fired. And then, like later on after that podcast, they must have had a vocal confrontation because fists were thrown.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is happening again in the AEW?
Yes.
Even TMZ reported on it.
And so then Andrade was not allowed to have his match
got sent home
against 10. Sammy was able to have his match.
which is weird.
Which was strange, but that would just mean to me that it was Andrade that.
Yeah, I think enough people probably saw this that they knew what
that it was
happened.
Andrade was the aggressor, right?
Yeah. Unlike the other story where not many people saw it and they had to do an investigation.
Well, another thing though, just recently happened. More of that interview came out, and Andrade. Okay, so the big thing about the match between Andrade and 10 is that the stipulations, kayfabe stipulations, are that if 10 wins and Andrade loses, Andrade will lose his contract with AEW and he's done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like kayfabe. Well, this fight happened, and then he wasn't allowed to wrestle, even though that Sammy was allowed to wrestle. Well, now the more of the interview came out, and Andrade had said during that interview that he is planning on losing on purpose, shoot-wise, and throwing the match against 10. So then the kayfabe storyline would be that he's out, and then he'd be like, no, I'm actually fucking out of this company. I want to break my contract. And
well, there's his chance.
It's so
right?
weird.
It's strange and it's weird. If he wants out, though,
then go.
Then let him break his contract. That's what I say. Because
how
awkward does that make it to wrestle with him if he doesn't want to be there, and you know that he's willing to throw matches, and then also, like, in my mind, that starts making things dangerous.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially if he's really stiff and he's, it's really.
If he has an actual, it would be really hard for a wrestler to keep that beef aside. I mean, I know that they're professionals and they're working, but if you really actually hate somebody and you're in ring and you're going to hit them, why would you hold back? Right?
Yeah.
If you actually,
there's history of that stuff being real in the past, and I don't think we should go back to that.
Very dangerous for the wrestlers and everybody involved.
Yes.
So let him break his contract. Be pro.
Sorry, Tony, you got to let him go.
Be pro worker.
Yeah. See ya.
Be pro worker. If a wrestler wants to be out of his contract, let him be out of it. Have an opt out clause. I know that the company's losing money on the deal and everything, but you got to look for the safety of the other wrestlers.
Yeah.
And now that Triple H is involved with the WWE, the Triple H might allow Andrade to come over and do stuff with his wife, because Andrade's
he would totally do that.
do stuff with his wife. The pronouns.
Oh yeah.
Not Triple H's wife, but Andrade's wife works for
Charlotte Flair.
Charlotte Flair works for WWE.
Triple H is like, hey, you should meet my wife.
Her name's Stephanie. But no, so then now Andrade can be happy and wrestle with Andrade's wife and get them out of there.
Get this blurring the lines of kayfabe and reality in the beefs. Like, keep that out of it.
I wouldn't even say it's blurring the lines. He's making it very clear. Like, it's not even blurred. It is clear as bell what he's saying.
It sounds like after the Punk stuff that the company has addressed that and told everybody to keep personal laundry out of the business. And they have like said, there's going to be, and so then, then now Andrade didn't get to have that match to throw. So there's a lot. I mean, AEW is still a young company, and there's still things that they need to figure out. And this is something that we all knew would happen, bringing in new talent, especially talent that has a lot of sway behind them, right?
Yeah.
And
someone as big as Andrade, who is a major star in another country and thinks he's being treated as a jobber at this company, which isn't true. But he just doesn't like that he hasn't, won a title or something, which that's not how it works. You don't always get to win a title.
Yeah. It's just a lot. So that's something that AEW eventually would have to manage. And they're also, along with this, at the same time, they're also managing the OG AEW wrestlers that made sure that AEW was a company in the beginning when they only could wrestle during COVID. There's a lot of wrestlers that were there from the beginning that aren't being used at all. And how do they feel about that? That's all talent relations, and that's all management. And it sounded like Tony Khan put Tony Schiavone, one of the announcers, into the role of being talent relations and manager. And
he's doing that?
Yeah.
Yep, Tony Schiavone is now the human resources.
He is now, instead of Tony
now.
Khan just dealing with all of it himself. So it's good to see Tony Khan is delegating tasks, which is something that eventually you'd have to do more because the company's getting bigger, right?
Yeah. I mean, he really should just focus on booking and signing contracts. I mean, let the people who are the friends of the wrestlers, you can't just be everyone's best friend like you used to be. You gotta manage your business and let other people manage the wrestlers.
Yep.
So that's the big flaw of what Vince always did, is he would let someone get in his ear, and that was the end of it. Look at like Triple H and Shawn Michaels just got in his ear, and they got whatever they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So
sounds like some of those Smash players. They just talk to the person in charge, and they win their Smash Brothers tournaments. Isn't that how that works? No,
it's not.
No,
how does it work, James? You got some Smash
They
news?
play games, and then who wins the games is who wins the tournaments.
Have they legalized that controller yet?
No.
Oh.
No. But no, this weekend was a super major tournament, as in competitors, a few competitors from other countries, and like 5 or 6 of like top 10 players, I think, is how they kind of determine this. Like the more top players that attend determines like a major or a super major. But anyway, this is a super major Smash Brothers Melee and Ultimate tournament happened this weekend at the Big House in Michigan.
In a prison?
And let me tell you, for a game like Super Smash Brothers Melee that is over 2 decades old, it's interesting that we have a historical win this weekend in that game. For up until this point, in a cast of like 26 characters, there's only been 5 that people have been able to win major tournaments with.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's
5
interesting.
characters
I didn't know that.
of the whole cast. So these are your top tier characters, you know. And we had a Yoshi player won a stacked Melee tournament.
Really?
Yep.
Just whipping those eggs at people?
He did it. Now this is a Japanese player. He's been pretty consistently top 10, top 5 for the last few years, but has recently moved to Canada in order to be closer to a lot more competition. And you could see him kind of clawing up in this last year, getting lots of second places, lots of third places. This player was very much due, and it's very cool to see a very historical win for a 20-year-old game.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
Especially because I wouldn't consider Yoshi one that you really go too far with.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. So he just dedicated the time to figure out Yoshi's.
Well, and that's been his favorite character. He's put the time into specializing.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Amsa is the name of the player.
Okay. Well, good job.
So congratulations to Amsa for his first major tournament win, and a historic one for the game itself.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, wait. How does this song go again? Oh, yeah. Memory.
It's fuzzy memory trivia time. That's when I ask the Hess questions, and then they answer the questions with the correct answer or a wrong answer. If they get a correct answer, they get a point. If they get a wrong answer, they get 0 points. We don't go into the negatives. We don't do half points. And currently, the score is C-Dub 6, James 4, J-Mo's 3, and Splinter 3. Is that correct? That's correct, right?
That's
guys?
correct.
Mhm.
You guys ready for some trivia?
Oh, every day.
This will be
Always.
a buzzin'. No, not a
A
buzzin'.
fuzzin'. No, a buzzin' is when we buzz. A fuzzin' is when we just yell out the answer.
This will be a fuzzin'. Just yell out the answer. Who led the American League in 2008 with 37 home runs?
Aaron Rodriguez.
Incorrect.
Altuve.
Miguel Cabrera.
Oh, Miggy.
I know him.
Where was the American League wild card game played in 2016?
Pittsburgh.
New York.
Toronto. Which baseball player has the nicknames Sir Albert and the Machine?
Albert Pujols.
Correct. C-Dubs with a point.
Excuse me.
Zorbazite.
Tickle.
What
Exorbitant.
team did Doc Rivers coach at the start of the 1999 NBA season?
Pistons.
Celtics.
Orlando Magic. What book did Walter Frazier publish in 2006?
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Live, Laugh, Love.
The Game Within the Game. Rapper Drake is often seen courtside at which team's games?
Toronto Raptors.
Correct. C-Dubs with a point. Vontae Davis led the Dolphins in what category in 2011?
Tackles.
Sacks.
Interceptions.
Oh.
Which golfer was nicknamed Squire of the Greens?
Jack Nicholson.
Gene Sarzarin. How many timeouts are NFL teams given each half?
3.
Correct. C-Dubs. And that was...
Oh, wait. How does this song go again? Oh, yeah. Memory.
Trivia. How many points did you get there, C-Dubs?
3.
3?
Is he getting outside help?
That's what I'm starting to think.
Hey, writing the
I'm
answers
watching the
behind his ear.
broadcast.
I need someone to check C-Dubs' ears.
Did James get any points? No?
Check his ears.
James will give you a point for being James. So
For checking my ears.
I deserve it.
9 to 5 to 3 to 3. Okay.
Let's do it. Let's keep that score. My favorite number's 9.
I'm keeping it. Oh, no. Just don't throw the game.
No, I'm going to throw them all for now. I want to end with 9 points. after what's this 23 episode season? I'm gonna end with
This
9
is
points.
the
Maybe
most.
not. Never
No,
mind,
this
change
is
my
the
mind.
most. This is you guys are doing.
No one's
good.
ever had
Yeah,
points.
we're doing good.
Nobody's ever
As
had
far as I
points
can
at
tell.
all.
Yeah,
Like,
as far as I can tell.
This is good.
This
No
is the
one's ever
first.
had
I think
points
this is the
before.
most points we've ever had in the first fifth of a season.
Yep.
Ever.
Okay, so the
It's a milestone.
fuzzy memory trivia brings us to the end of the episode. We're doing a new thing where we ask you guys was there anything that we skipped over or anything you want to bring up before we get to what we're going on before the very end.
I wanted to bring up your story of that lovely woman being really kind to you reminded me of something I like to do and I'm planning on doing tomorrow. I like to give practice baseballs to kids when they come to Dodger games.
Okay.
And I'm going to act like that lady, and I'm going to give some baseballs to little kids at the game tomorrow because I have 2 of them.
Nice. So that's what you're going to be doing.
I'm going to put it forward.
But however, I was more asking. Was there any like sports related topics that we?
That's sports related. That's baseball.
That's
Yeah,
like
dude, you ever
that's
heard about baseballs?
Oh, man. That's more of like something that you're going to be doing. You know. Okay. James, was there anything you wanted to bring up? Did we skip over anything that you want to talk about?
I want to bring up the. I just want to thank everyone.
Okay. Well,
and that's involved.
Oh man.
You know, with all the stuff.
You can do that at the end of the episode.
Oh, okay.
You know,
Yeah.
like that's what the end of the episode's for.
Yeah, but
is there like
this,
any sports related topics that you want to bring up that we skipped over? Like, is there anything that in the news that you
just
saw?
glad that there could be sports in this world.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And that I can be a part of that.
Remember in the thick of COVID when there was no sports?
Remember when
before the
sports
vaccines
alive.
were around? That was
We kept sports alive in the hearts of
that was
millions.
really tough.
like back before the fourth time COVID was over, but like after the second time COVID was over.
And just to, COVID isn't over. It's still going
So
on.
get boosted.
Keep
getting boosted.
Go get your booster. Go get your flu shot if you haven't yet. I just did that today.
Nice, Fuzzy. Hey, Fuzzy.
Yeah.
I got a question for you.
What's that?
Do you have anything you want to bring up yet?
Was there
that you
anything
have
that we
missed?
skipped over that we missed? Well, I was the one that made the notes, so I got all my points in. So
Yeah.
I'm
Did you
I'm
skip
pretty
anything?
good. I'm pretty good to end the episode if you guys want to end the episode.
Fine.
Well, at some point we need to. So okay, so now we're at the end of the episode. Blind refs, if you want to make
this
a
is a school
little
night.
chime thing for like the end of the episode, so we can so then the Hess know that we're getting like a topic sounder for the end of the episode. That's what I'm looking for.
You should make it sound like when you're on a plane and the pilot's about to announce that you're descending. Make it that kind of thing. Like, boom. Yeah, then
Yeah.
I'm
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I like
just
it.
something like that.
Yeah,
you figure it out.
Something like that.
Blind ref.
Blind refs.
Just figure it out for us.
Oh, if you haven't yet, go to fuzztalkshop.com or fuzzjockshop.com and buy yourself a t-shirt. Help support us. We do not, as you noticed, do not do ads during the episodes because we don't believe in advertising.
Oh, I thought we were going to go to break.
And now we go to break. Sometimes we talk about video games that we like a whole lot, so then we're kind of advertising that. But we don't mean to be advertising. We're not shills. We're just
Going
passionate.
to break? I want to know what's happening. How are we going to break now?
No, we're not going to break, Eli.
Oh, okay.
We're at the end of the episode, not break. Well, I suppose you could call it a break, until next week.
Kinda.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to call it a break.
Once again, we're not exactly sure when to stop because we don't have that new sound.
Yeah, until we get the sounder, we're going to keep going.
We're not
blind refs, hurry up.
We're not in the future quite yet. Right?
Uh-oh.
How's it going, guys? Are we at the beginning
I'm
of the
excited
episode
for
or
this
the
week.
end?
I don't know. We don't have a sounder.
Welcome. We are live.
Welcome. Okay, so all jokes aside, what do you got going on this next week, C-Dubs? Before are you going to come back next week because you haven't been around a whole lot this season?
It all depends on how the series with the Padres goes.
Okay.
Let's hope
Yeah.
we get a sweep, and then I will definitely be here next week.
Okay.
So if we sweep the Padres, I'll be here.
Sweet. JMS?
Man, I'm going to do all the awesome stuff.
Oh, I
don't know.
Who's deciding
I'm
if
gonna
it's
go on
awesome
like
or not?
a self-reflective journey, find myself.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah.
Sit with myself in a tree. Probably. I don't know. Like that's a thing. People do that. I'm not weird.
Well,
It's a
Fuzzy?
perfectly normal thing.
what?
What are you going to do
What am I gonna do?
for the next week?
I'm going to be genuine with the people interactions I have. Or no, wait. I'm gonna be genuine as much as I can be.
FuzzJockRadio.
It's a goal for me, it's a dream, and then I'm living my dream today. So I got my dough and I say, I got this, and then I'm fighting for this for a long time, and then I got it. So this is for the dream too.